wet lipstick. We couldn't have a TV. We couldn't go to the movies. We couldn't go to a ball game. We couldn't go to a concert. Everything was so repressed. And I came from a non-Christian background. And this was just, how am I supposed to live in this? And so I would write her all this stuff. And she wrote back to me faithfully. She's alive today. I talked to her on the phone last Friday anyway. And I have said to her, you'll see it in one of my books if you ever get the first one. I said to her, I owe my marriage and my ministry and who I am to you and your faithful letters to me. She wrote things to me like, no pain is either meaningless nor endless. I thought the pain I was in had no meaning and it was going to be forever. And she also said, God will not always take you out of your circumstances, but he will always go through them with you. I didn't know that. I didn't know about how God works through trials and difficulties to shape us and change us and produce gold in our character as we're going to walk with him. I had no idea what was going on. But her words of faithfulness and encouragement inspired me with courage, gave me hope, cheered me on, supported me, and gave me a gentle prod when I needed it, which was usually every letter, to stay close to the Lord, to pray, to know that he was a God who was good and he was working all things together for good, even though I couldn't see it. So encouraging. You can be an encourager. That is a high calling for every one of us. Lord, flip my words, yes. From being a complainer, from being negative, from finding fault, to being a woman who encourages and gives life to others. I want to just give you two more quick sort of principles for relationships. Here's some communication don'ts. And first of all, don't make certain comments. All right, we'll go through that. Certain comments are what people would say are below the belt. They really hurt. And if you know your husband is very sensitive about something, or your child, or a friend, extrapolate it where you are in your circumstances. Resolve never to make certain remarks. I used to say to my husband in those early years, we might as well get a divorce. We might as well get a divorce. It's not working. And one day God spoke to my heart and said, don't ever say that again. Doesn't mean I didn't sometimes think it. But God just made it so clear to me, Bobby, you said your lips. And don't say that again. So there might be some remarks that your husband is very sensitive to and that is destructive. And God's saying, don't do it. Criticize or belittle. These are the things we want to watch out for and ask ourselves, am I criticizing and belittling, say, and excuse me, those of you who are not married, please forgive me if I'm just talking about marriage, but you know that that's often the most difficult relationship for some people. But don't, in front of other people, criticize your husband or belittle him. Oh yeah, he just acts like that, but he's not really like that at home. You are humiliating your husband. We don't want to humiliate and degrade our spouse in front of someone else. It's one thing to go in confidence to one person and share, as I did with this spiritual lover, and she could give me counsel because she was older and wiser, and she was a godly woman. But don't tear down your spouse when you're out for dinner and you think it's just being witty and funny. I'm saying that because I was there. I did it. And God had to show me that was not what he wanted. Then, of course, you've got the always and never. You always do this. You never do that. And we know that that isn't true. We just feel that way. And then interrupt or ignore. I have the problem with interrupting, not ignoring. And again, it depends on your personality. And then there's the manipulating, pressure, and demand. Okay, what should we do?